Okay. Hey guys, we're here. So no stalling because I have a lot of stuff to do today. There's gonna be a couple of streams I need to do before I have to get ready for work. We'll do this. We'll finish this up. I'll show people how hard that whole little thing will go to some doing is. That shit is hard. There's a lot of weird, wonky sprite manipulation that I'm doing right now, so I'll show that off, and I'll do a little bit of Battler too. But let's finish this one up because this one's at the end. I just gotta do the system shock first portion. System shock. I will be doing a horror movie analysis to tie into this and the collusion, and that's it. All right, but I gotta give myself like 45 minutes, so less yapping, more working. Okay, let's see. Okay. Do. All right. Let's see. All right, so we did talk about Urtici, Urtici, Clock Tower 2, Resident Evil 0. All right. Okay, so now System Shock. It's been a bit, definitely been a bit. What do I want to talk about? It has definitely been a bit. Give me a second. So the next 4 hours, I gotta get 3 streams out of the way. Let me keep you right there, so you're not in the way. In most horror games, running is instinctual. You flee from something you can't see. It's something you fear. Okay. All right, LCD. I'm trying to have this one at least released by Sunday. Again, as I mentioned, I put this in the community tab. People do check that, which is kind of funny because I'm a small channel. But I have to do extended research on sprite animation because it's been at least almost 2 decades since I last did a sprite animation, and I'm trying to do that for Golden Sun, but I'm very limited in what I can do with that game. So I have to just I have to take time to actually re-educate myself on that, which will take away time from script writing. So that's why I'm at least trying to dedicate at least 1 hour to 1 hour to each project I'm working on. The only projects I'm working on right now is this and Battler, and the whole sprite animation is just me on the side. But I do definitely have to sit down with that. I was doing that earlier, but it's hard. It's very hard. It's not out of the realm of impossible. I can do it, but it's gonna take a lot of work. So that's why I'm doing this first, and I'll get back to that. I'll stream it and just to show people how hard it is. Then after that, I'll do Battler to wrap up the night. That one's at least halfway done. This one's about to be done. Whoa. What the fuck? Okay. All right. Okay, word. You're not just running from you're not just running from danger. I'm Shodan. So Shodan's sassy. Okay, I got it. I can't wait to play through this again. But for my next batch of videos, I haven't decided what I'm gonna do first. I do have to do a lore file, so I'm probably gonna do a Fatal Frame 2 remake one. Since that's the only one I haven't done. Not through I just don't like playing that game, but OCD will catch up to me. Like, yeah, I did everything besides Fatal Frame 2, so I'll do that lore files. Probably take a bit because that's a lot of lore. Then for hell, I just take requests and do Golden on the side. So yeah, I haven't really like decided the next batch. I'm just focusing on the two projects I'm working on right now. Okay, Shodan is funny. She predicts everything you're trying to do. Like everything's going to her design. So you're running through a system control. Alright. Predicted. Permitted, sort of. Give me 1 sec. Oh. Okay, that's fine. One where every movement is predicted, permitted. As usual, I'm allowed to be cheeky, so we'll be cheeky. You're not just running from danger, you're running from a system of control, one where every movement is predicted, permitted, and perverted by something smarter than you. When Tossie has something, it's Shodan. Well, here's the thing. It's like we know systems talk to lore. We just need to factor it into the whole running aspect. We know the whole Polito aspect and Shodan masquerading as Polito. Oh my god. We'll ignore that. It's Polito, yeah, Polito. Just again, we don't really need to go. The purpose of the case study is not really to go into lore. We're just taking pieces of said game and putting it into the narrative, like how it fits into the narrative. We don't need to go into lore. Like, System Shock 2 is a very old game. I'm pretty sure the majority of people have played it, not played the game, but we don't need to go into lore. We just need to tie into how this goes into the narrative I'm writing, which is why I do these case studies. Okay. I know, I'll fix it. Let's just she has been watching your every word. Why? Why would you make me put you here? And she has been watching you every step. Word. Well, obviously you can't see it, but words telling me to make a grammatical correction. I'm like, no. Why would I put you there? Word, I love you. I love you, but you know sometimes you be bugging. Okay. In most horror games, running is instinctual. You flee from something you can't see, something you fear. But in System Shock 2, the act of running becomes far more insidious. You're not just running from danger. You're running through a system of control, one where your every movement is predicted, permitted, and perverted by something smarter than you. That is Shodan. Over time, Shodan's machinations and treachery are revealed. It wasn't Polito guiding your journey. No, she was long dead before your adventure began. The voice guiding you was Shodan the entire time. She has been watching your every movement. No, where I'm not putting you because that makes no sense. Then you realize you were never alone. That's good. Okay. Okay. So now let's tie this into the narrative. Okay. I gotta word this in a specific way, so just give me a moment. All right. Okay. Oh, all right. I have an idea. Just give me a second. Because if I write that, I have to follow that up pretty significantly. Okay. I'm gonna have to do some shenanigans here. Okay, now you took the shot. Now it's time to follow that up. Wait, how long is the? Hold on, I gotta see how long these other case studies is. Okay, so that's about. Okay, that's a good. I kind of went into a little bit more detail on. I went into a little bit more detail on Resident Evil Zero. I kind of had to. Okay. All right, we can make this. We can have like a good section, then should be good to go with this one. It's not. We don't need to go that much into crazy detail. What the fuck? Interesting. Okay. What was I getting with this? Some Shodan. The thing with Shodan is everything you don't. She doesn't need to hunt you down. Like she doesn't need to chase you. Like you're following her, and I quote plans at the end of the day. So Take that, GLaDOS. I love GLaDOS. GLaDOS is hype. Showdown doesn't hunt you, but she doesn't need to. But she doesn't need to. She doesn't need to. We're pretty much doing what she wants. So the horror in that is we were never in control. Like our actions were guided by this outside force that we can't do anything. We can, obviously we can, but at that specific point, we can't do anything. So the horror doesn't come from being chased. It comes from the slow realization that we were never in control. We were always the pawn. Bam. We were always the pawn. So let's go into a little bit of detail about that, then we should be able to wrap it up. So by going off of this design, whoops. Word, I hate you. We were always the pawn. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. But no, Word wants me to write, we're always pawns. I love you, Word. I do. Like, we have a very intimate relationship, but sometimes you just be bugging. Okay. So, the design warps traditional chase mechanics. So, for example, when enemies appear, your instincts tell you to run. Screams to run. But again, like in Showdown's case, everything is going to her master plan. So, but every corridor, actually, every run is everyone is a corridor she designed. Every exit. It's a final. So the further we flee, the further we flee, the deeper into her world, we descend. So, in a sense, our movement is servitude. Our resistance is submission. Oh, I love it. So, your movement become servitude. Even resistance becomes submission. Okay, I feel like we've covered enough. We can start let's do a concluding sentence to this, then we start getting on to getting ready for the conclusion. All right, got like at least 20 more minutes left. We internalize the manipulation that we for example, you begin to doubt yourself. Begin to doubt yourself. Like, are we running because we want to, or are we running because someone's telling us to? You running? Want to? Okay, let's see. Oh, are you escaping danger? No. Bam. Okay, let's read this. I think we did good here. I think we did very good. I think we did good. Alright. In most horror games, running is instinctual. You flee from something you can't see, something you fear. But in System Shock 2, the act of running becomes far more insidious. You're not just running from danger, you're running through a system of control, one where your every movement is predicted, permitted, and perverted by something smarter than you. That is Shodan. Over time, Shodan's machinations and treachery are revealed. It wasn't Polito guiding your journey. No, she was dead long before your adventure began. Then you realize you were never alone. Where other games use different gimmicks to chase you, System Shock 2 uses your own pathfinding as a trap. Every corridor you take, every system you power on, every step you take towards the next objective, it's all orchestrated obedience. Shodan doesn't hunt you because she doesn't need to. Ooh, you need to put a pause there. You're already doing what she wants. The horror doesn't come from being chased. It comes from the slow realization that we were never in control. We were always the pawn. The design warps the traditional chase mechanics. For example, hold on, work. Fuck. Okay. Tomorrow, Ultimate Football at the Field by Soto Gym. Make sure you have civilian bring. Alright. Alright. Ooh. Fuck. Alright. Football tomorrow. That's different. Alright, where was I? Okay. The design works traditional chase mechanics. For example, when enemies appear, your instincts scream to run. But every run is a corridor she designed. Every exit is a funnel. The further we flee, the deeper into her world we descend. Your movement becomes servitude. Even resistance becomes submission. That is what makes System Shock 2 so devastating. Not because you're being manipulated, but you realize, but you internalize the manipulation. But that you internalize the manipulation, you begin to doubt yourself. Are you running because you want to, or because someone told you to? Are you escaping danger, or are you heading to the next psychological set piece? Good, we're done. Now, I'll have to do a little introductory passage for the horror movie analysis I'm going to do for this. I'll actually be doing Friday the 13th Part 7, Zombie Jason, because we used I felt like he would have been the perfect one for this because at least with human one, you can defend yourself pretty thoroughly. With zombie Jason's like, yeah, you're just getting chased. You just can't do nothing. You just the chase goes on. No matter what you do, the chase never ends. Later, the next video I'll do, haven't decided what I'm gonna do for the next one, but we'll use another horror movie icon. Okay, alright, so let's do an introductory passage for that, then we can start getting on the conclusion. Also, since I'm back here, I had to look at my cult book. Find it. I already have an idea what to do here, so we'll probably end up using Eric Fromm again. Okay. Always keep notes. Continue research. Alright, so we're probably just gonna use Eric Fromm, so notebook there. Okay, we've heard enough about monkeys swimming. Thank you, Donkey Kong. Fuck it. We'll go Mario. No, hell no. Let's go back to RE3. Okay, so we just need to tie into a. Okay, let's write a passage. So let's. Or. More than just practicing games. Cinema led the. As usual, I'm gonna have to put that. If you don't do good with gore, please skip that analysis. Lay the foundation. Yeah, choreography, kind of, sort of. Depending on which genre. Seriously, depending on which genre, which franchise, I mean. Choreography is kind of pushing it with Friday the 13th, but there's a method to the madness. You know what you signed up for when you go watch a horror Friday the 13th movie. Alright, so. Yeah, I thought it would have been appropriate if we talked about Human Jason last time. I might as well do zombie. This movie was funny. It was The New Blood. This movie was very, 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 very funny. Why am I doing that? When you have a 7-foot zombie jumping through a window just to continue a chase after you, similar to Nemesis and OGRE3, holy crap! Oh boy! That's why I knew. I'm like, damn. Y'all are cooked. This mammoth of a zombie just jumped commando style through a window to just come kill you, bro. And as usual, I'll just be doing a couple of scenes. Probably just the it'll be after the events leading to the bitch getting axed in the face to the explosion, probably. Unfortunately, this song is very short. Extremely short. We'll start up again. But horror doesn't just trap us in games. Cinema laid the foundation before randomized AI. Ah, sorry about that. It looks like OBS just randomly disconnected. Sorry. The horror. Let me start that again. The horror doesn't just trap us in games. Cinema laid the foundation before randomized AI, looping corridors, or stamina bars. Fear was built through framing, pacing, and choreography. And few films understand the primal terror of the chase like Friday the 13th, The New Blood. In this film, movement isn't just survival, it's a countdown, a psychological unraveling. Let's break down how it weaponizes motion, escalation, and inevitability, step by step. There we go. Easy as that. So, so next time I won't use Michael Myers, I won't use Jason Voorhees, I'll probably end up doing Scream 1. I just gotta figure out what the hell I'm gonna do. I haven't even got to that point. I don't even know what the hell I'm gonna do for the next one. Now we gotta write a conclusion, which is always fun. Alright, okay. But we'd definitely be using Eric from. No, I think we'll choose something else. Let me just jot this down. No. Do I have Stephen King ones? I do. Stephen King it is. Just which one? Fuck. It's been a bit since I've talked about the OG. I might have to hold off on that because I don't know which code of his to use, so we won't put a code just yet. Later on, I'll figure it out. Let's just get this started. Um, 6 o'clock. Now, with enough speed, enough luck, we can get away. Huh. Let me tell you a story about Clock Tower everything. It's kind of intense. I might change that. It lets you run until running becomes the very thing that destroys you. That's very intense. I don't like that. We'll keep it for now, but I'll change it later. I have to. I might have to do a follow-up stream because when I do the quotes, I usually build off the quotes, and right now I don't have anything to build it off of, so I probably might have to do concluding. I might have to do an extra stream just to finish this one up. Because I could have used Eric Fromm, but I feel I want to use Stephen King at least once. I haven't used him at all. Ever since I started doing these videos, I never used our favorite guy with the glasses. I feel like using him, but I don't have a quote for him. Okay, let me just we'll write a little bit more, then we'll wrap it up. Then I'll do some research on the Stephen King quote and how it would fit into the narrative. Then tomorrow we'll officially wrap this up. Then we'll go from there. All right, we think running in horror games is a choice. That with enough speed, enough luck, you can get away. But horror doesn't let you escape; it lets you run until running becomes the very thing that destroys you. That's so intense, but we shall keep it. Give examples. So it begins in the body. Skipped heartbeat. Skipped heartbeat. Breath that won't steady. Breath that won't steady. You played Resident Evil Remake? That L-shaped hallway. That L-shaped hallway, when the dogs bust through, it just feels so long to get past that L-shaped hallway. That's why I never go back there. I have no reason to go back through the eastern wing of that mansion. No reason to go back. Because that eastern section is death. Straight up death. So you tell yourself you're surviving. But you're not. You're in the way delaying the inevitable. You're delaying what can't be avoided. What can't be avoided. Okay. I think that's good. And again, I just don't have a quote for this because I usually build off the quote and yeah. So let's read this one more time, then we'll start wrapping things up. You think that running in horror games is a choice? That with enough speed, enough luck, we can get away. But horror doesn't let you escape unless you run, until running becomes the very thing that destroys you. It begins in the body, a skipped heartbeat, a breath that won't steady, a hallway that feels longer the second time through. You tell yourself that you're surviving, but you're not. You're delaying what can't be avoided. I like it. So let's so again, I just gotta find a quote for this. I just wanted to use Stephen King at least once. I was gonna use Eric Fromm, but I'm like, you know what? I have to use Stephen King once this time. So I'll come back later because I have to do Battler. I'm gonna be doing some sprite manipulation, which I'm gonna stream so people can see how difficult this whole Golden Sun thing is. It's more than just lore. I have to do sprite animation, which I haven't done in the past 15 years. So, and I'm limited in sprite resources because that game doesn't have any. That game barely has any funky sprites. But we'll get to there when we get to there. So I'll do that for like an hour. Then later on tonight, I'll do Battler. So this is on the way done. I just gotta get a quote, finish with the conclusion, then by Monday, Sunday maybe, this will be done. So good stuff. I'll see you tomorrow for more of this. Other than that, see y'all later. Have a good one.